Alright, so a lot of residential guys, including myself before I got into the commercial world, come across these frames quite a bit. Um, these are called timely frames. They're pretty easy to get out. As you can see, I've already started. Once you get this trim off, which I'll show you in a minute, you want to get on these particular styles, you want to get the glass out first. And then once you get the glass out, then you can actually remove the door. You can see this is the screws here that hold in the glass. Then once you get the glass out and the door pop, then you can come back through and you can start taking your frame out. But we got to start with getting this trim off first. So with getting this trim off, what I do is I start at the bottom with the flathead screwdriver, or you can use a pry bar. And you just want to kind of slowly work your way up. They got these little tabs in there. So what you do, try not to damage the door here. Probably should be working from the other side. And that's it. That's how you get the trim off. Pretty self-explanatory. Once you get it so far, you can just kind of start pulling at it. And that's that. That's how you get the trim off those doors. Alright, so I'm working on a different door, but one of the other things I wanted to show you that most of these doors have. You see that right up there at the corner? See how that slid out? Sometimes those aren't going to want to slide out, so you're going to want to give them a little bit of a wiggle, and that'll help you get them out. I'm not sure what that is, but somebody left their office memorabilia behind. Alright, so now that we got the trim off all the way around the door, I went ahead and popped the two sides off so you could see the double-sided tape in there. You know, those black strip on both sides and the top and bottom, that's double-sided tape. I took those side pieces off just so I could show you that, but before you take those side pieces off, you're going to want to take a razor blade knife on the outside of the door, or whatever side that the trim's not on, and you're going to want to cut all of that out. It's kind of a tedious process. That's the best way I know how to do it. We are replacing the glass in these doors. These doors are actually being used elsewhere in the building, so I could just break them out, but I don't want to make that mess. So we'll go ahead and cut that out, get the window removed, and move on to the next step. Alright, so as you can see, I got the glass out of that one. I even got the door off. So I'm going to show you how to get the door off on this next one. Those right there, those are shims. You can use whatever scrap you got. That's what we got laying around today. As you can see, my door's sitting on top of those. That keeps it from falling. So there's two different ways to do this. One is the screwdriver method. You're going to need a short, skinny screwdriver. The reason for that is if you look here, it's a little hole. So you take your screwdriver, put it up in the hole like that, give it a few taps with a hammer, and it should budge. I usually start with the bottom one, because that's the hardest one to get out since you don't got a lot of room to swing your hammer. And it'll also let you know if that method's not going to work. If that method's not going to work, the only thing you do different, you open the door, put your shims down. That way your door's still sitting on those shims. It's really important. And then unfortunately you're going to have to unscrew either the hinge side or the door side. I usually recommend the hinge side. Makes it a little bit easier. But that's how you get the door out. That's probably the easiest part besides the weight of it. Alright, so we got our trim off, got our door off, and we got our glass off over there. The last step, easiest step, is pretty much self-explanatory. You're going to want to take all them screws out. Now, not each one of those little holes is a screw. You know, there's one here, one here. They're about every foot apart. Now, on these doors that have the side view like this, that side glass, if you look up there, you'll see a screw right there. And then you're going to see another one right there. Now you're going to want to take those screws off because that middle piece is going to have to come out first. You're going to have one on this side as well. Yeah, these guys, sometimes they skimp on screws when they put them in. But the point is you're going to want to get all those screws out of there, and then your frame will start breaking free. Now once I get all these screws out, I'll come back and I'll show you how to remove each piece of the frame. It's pretty easy, but I'll go ahead and go over that last step as soon as I get all these screws out. Alright, so I got all the screws out. Now I just need to start taking it down. As you can see, I got it started up top. Don't forget your screws in this center column. But I got them all, got all the screws out and started getting this off for you. What you're going to want to do is just separate. You see there's two pieces there. You're going to want to separate those. Like I said, once those screws are out of there, that should come out pretty easy. Sorry about the camera, I had to catch it. The other one started going too. You see, once you get them apart, they both kind of slide out. And even that bottom piece down there, you can see that slide. So, move these to the side. So once you get that center column out, like I said, that'll start splitting off. These other pieces are really pretty. I start at the bottom on these, and you can just start, you see how that's, you just kind of do the same thing. You just pull it off the wall. There it is, that side's off. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the camera off because I don't want that top piece falling on my head. But once you get the side off, you know, you get this side off down there. Get the top down. Again, be careful. You don't want that to fall on your head. It does hurt. I'll tell you from experience. After that, you just got this last little piece down here. And you can just socket set, channel locks, whatever you got to do. And if it's nailed down, you're probably going to have to get a pry bar hammer and just try to work it out of there. All right, so this last piece is actually nailed down. So, you know, sometimes they lag, you know, sometimes they bolt them down, sometimes they nail them down. It's different each time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pry bar and I'm going to get underneath the carpet, and you can start prying a little bit. You see this one here? That bolt's actually loose. It didn't really, looks like it busted out over time. And what I'll try to do is I'll get my pry bar in here where that one's still, and I'll take my hammer and I'll just smack it against that bolt. You know, obviously harder than this. I can't do it while I'm holding the phone for the camera. But so I wanted to include this last little bit of information in this video just because it is important. The reason that I used that pry bar and hammer to smack the side of the bolt was because when you're on a concrete slab, it breaks that concrete around it, which allows that to break free. You see, I still gotta get some nails out of there. No biggie. The most important part is there is almost no damage to this piece of metal that we're gonna be reusing. Might need a little paint there, but that's that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you remove a commercial door. Go ahead and hit that like button if you found value in this content. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I plan on dropping as many videos as I can in the future. So, thanks a lot. Enjoy your day.